step seems too hard to take. Every turn feels like a big mistake. It makes you want to close your eyes and hide. Trust yourself, even if you're scared. Don't give up, don't give in to fear. All the strength you seek, you'll find inside.
About QR codes for just a few seconds. QR codes are essentially barcodes, and you see them everywhere now. They look like this, and you will see them in products. You will see them in restaurants when you're ordering online. You will see them in billboards, and here at Celebration Center, we use them on our Sunday service, especially if you're watching us online. So how do you use them? The way that I use them is I go to my phone and I go to my camera on my phone. So you do need to have your camera open. You will face your camera to the QR code, and you will notice something interesting happen, which is a little colorful frame will go around the QR code. And some QR codes are square, some are circle. And then you're going to click on that colorful little link that pops up, and it will take you to whatever website the QR code was programmed for. In this case, it's our website. You see? So it's that easy. So I hope you are going to use our QR codes, and I hope to see you very soon.
Good morning, Celebration Center for Spiritual Living, and welcome to another fabulous Sunday morning. My name is Reverend Kris Alexander. I am the senior minister here at Celebration Center, and we are physically located at in Falls Church, Virginia. However, we are a truly global community with a commitment to offer everything that we do as either online only or hybrid. So wherever you are joining us from, whether you are here in the room or joining us online, or even if you're watching sometime in what is our future and your present, we are so glad that you are joining us this morning. If you are joining us online, I invite you to just go ahead and click that share button, post us out onto your favorite social media, whether that's Instagram, Meta Threads, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, whatever it is, wherever you're hanging out nowadays. I invite you to share this out. Tell all of your friends what you're up to today and invite them to join you from the comfort of their own home as well. If you are joining us for the very first time this morning, an extra special welcome to you. We are so glad that you are with us today. We would love for you to tell us a little bit about yourself. Let us know if there's anything we could do to support you. And also join our e-news mailing list so you can find out all of the cool stuff we have going on here at Celebration Center. You can do that in a couple of different ways. You can go to bit.ly/CCSL guest. You can also scan this QR code that's popping up right here next to me. Or if you are here in the room and a first-time guest, you are welcome. There is a beige card on the table that you are welcome to fill out as well. And if you would like us to pray with you this week, there are a couple of different ways that you can give us your prayer requests. You can scan this QR code. Was anybody noticing Miriam's little how-to QR code in the opening slideshow this morning? Fabulous, fabulous. Thank you so much, Miriam. If y'all didn't know who that was, that is Miriam Catella. She is our board chair, and that is just to help us out to know what all of these little funny things are that are here floating up next to me, and everybody in the room's looking at me funny because it's actually over there for them, but for y'all online it's over there. So anyways, I digress. If you would like for us to pray with you, you can scan that QR code. If you are here in the room, over on the table, we do have the green prayer cards that you're welcome to fill out and drop in the basket. Or you can go to our website, celebrationcenter.org, click on Request Affirmative Prayer. Those prayers go to our ministers and practitioners as well as our Monday afternoon ministry of prayer, where we will hold you in consciousness. Today, after the service, we have our final of 3, not final forever, but just of this particular series, our final town hall meeting. So by now, most of you have heard, and if you haven't, I'm about to tell you, that I have decided not to renew my contract at the end of this year. And there's a lot of reasons for that. It's up at the end of this year, so, it's only July. We still have time, right? And there's a lot of reasons for that and things like that. So go check your email if you haven't seen it come through your email yet. We did send out several messages about this last week. I'm also happy to talk to anyone one-on-one or in person, on Zoom, via phone, text, anything like that. Feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out at revchris@celebrationcenter.org. You can also find that email address if you go to our website, celebrationcenter.org. Please reach out to me. I'm happy to tell you more information. And as a result of my leaving, we are having a series of 3 town hall meetings so that The community, y'all, the board, the practitioners, and everyone who attends, whether you are a member, an attender, a voting member, whatever you are, can come together and figure out what's next for Celebration Center. So anyone and everyone is welcome to come to that meeting that is this afternoon at 12:30. It is hybrid. So if you're here in the room, we have sandwiches and ice cream for y'all. So hang out. Yes, sandwiches and ice cream. Fun little mix there. Hang out, grab a sandwich, get some ice cream, and then join us for that town hall meeting at 12:30. If you are online at 12:30, go to celebrationcenter.org and click on Enter Zoom Events. And with all of that, I would like to introduce what's happening today. So I am going to be giving the message today, and we are continuing this idea of speaking truth to circumstances. And today we are talking about powerful truths. And y'all, I'm really excited about this topic. It's something I fell down a research rabbit hole last night, and I can't wait to take y'all with me and see what I have discovered. We also have our music director, Lynn Hollyfield, back after a week of being away from us. So let's give Lynn a round of applause. And then we have our beloved practitioner from Iowa, Judy Blaise, joining us online. Let's give her a round of applause as well. And now I would like to invite Lynn up for an opening song. Oh, and we have Jen Fay singing along with Lynn. My goodness, I should have written something down so I knew what I was talking about. Let's give Jen a round of applause too.
We're going to start with the opening song, Stand by Karen Drucker, and I hope you'll join in with singing with us. Anyway, here we go. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love, let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now. We are making a new world now.
Good morning. I'm Judy Blaise, your practitioner this week. And let's say our vision together. We are celebrating spirit within and knowing the oneness of humanity. So knowing that oneness. I have chosen an excerpt from this month's Science of Mind magazine. It's actually a quote from L.R. Nost in the Daily Guide for July 30th. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world. All things can be mended. Not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go. Love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. The broken world waits in darkness for the light that is you. So let's take a nice deep breath in and hold it and release. Breathe in, hold, and let go. Breathe in, hold, and release. And feeling that sense of peace from having simply recognized our breath. Feeling it as the very energy of spirit itself, enlivening us, clearing, cleansing us. We rejoice in this beautiful sensation of being in this community. We rejoice in knowing that we have the power right here, right now, to speak truth, to speak our truth, and to speak the ultimate truth, no matter what appearances. So let's take a moment to simply feel that sense of our power in a peaceful, loving, infinitely creative way. And feeling that power, which is the power of the word. I know for each of us, as I speak this word, that each of us is now feeling that connectivity to the one source of all life, that source of infinite love that pours through every particle of our being, enlivening and inspiring us, bringing us into that fullness of who we are. And I claim and accept also that each of us is now moving into a new sensation of wholeness. For the divine idea that Spirit has, that absolutely is the foundation of who we are, is wholeness, perfection. And so we lovingly have compassion for all of those places where we do not feel whole and complete. And we move deeper, deeper into that space where we are connected to the wholeness that is the reality of life itself. So that we can step into our own wholeness in a new way, a more complete way. And since we have this creative power, we also know that as we have any kind of physical, emotional, financial, or material needs, that Spirit is right there with all that could ever be needed or desired. So we simply open and allow the abundance of all good to flow through every particle of our being. And especially uplifting our minds to be that accepting place of the good that is waiting to pour itself through us every second, every breath, every heartbeat. So as we claim this abundance, we also know that this is the same abundance that flows through the deep, loving connection in relationship. So we bless our relationships. We open to Spirit being the glue that binds us all together in this beautiful sensation of perfect love. We release all doubt and fear. We release everything that gets in the way of our absolute experience of love, of peace, of calm, of bounty, of that glimmer of the infinite that resides in our hearts. So knowing this, we also speak the word for this community, knowing that there is nothing ever really broken. So we bring our wholeness, our concept, our knowing of wholeness into this community right now, letting Spirit unfold for us the perfect enfoldment of all good, embracing the new, honoring what has passed. We claim that our center is now being led by Spirit, the perfection and wholeness of that one source, and that we are all enfolded in that infinite loving embrace. So in this sense of love, I just feel gratitude. I feel that gratitude flowing through every aspect of my being. I feel this gratitude as a grace that moves in and through each of us. Because as we allow what has been spoken, as we allow ourselves to accept that which is spoken and that which is even greater than what we know, it is done. So we surrender it, we let it go, we release it, knowing it is done, it is perfect. Love and gratitude, release, I let it go, and so it is.
Okay, I'm going to share a song. I'm actually part of a very special concert this afternoon. It's a tribute to a wonderful, wonderful, brilliant songwriter, Mary Gaucher. And the people who are playing, they've all played here at the center over the past couple of years. They're friends of mine. They're wonderful songwriters themselves. And so we're celebrating the music of this woman. And so this song I'm going to share right now is, it's actually a Ram Dass quote, walking each other home. And Mary was just saying how relationships help us on the journey of learning about love. So here we go. I'm now getting round to letting go, but you packed your suitcase a long time ago. The road got rough, you got ahead of me. I tried to pull you back, I know you had to leave. We put each other through a world of hurt. Maybe that's the way it is on this side of the dirt. Nobody wants to be alone. I hope you're happy now. I heard you found someone. I don't know how this story's supposed to go. I don't know a lot of things that other people know. It ain't about the money, it ain't about what's right or wrong. We're all just walking each other home. Somewhere between Cain and Abel, that's where we live. It's only human to take more than we give, to reach for a fix, to fill you up, take away the pain. Oh, but that's not love. I don't know how this story's supposed to go. I don't know a lot of things that other people know. ain't about the money, it ain't about who's right or wrong. We're all just walking each other home. Ain't for me to say what's bad or good. In the end, I know we did the best we could. I don't know how this story's supposed to go. I don't know a lot of things that other people know. It ain't about the money, it ain't about who's right or wrong. We're all just walking each other home. We're all just walking each other home. We're all just walking each other home.
Thank you so much, Lynn. And so when Lynn comes up for her closing song, she's going to give us all of the details about her concert this afternoon, so you can come see her if you would like. Her and Michelle Swan, who was here last week, and all kinds of people. It's going to be really cool. So thank you so much, Lynn. All right, I have a question for y'all today. We're talking about powerful truths. So I want to hear from y'all, what is a truth, like a capital T truth, that you hold, that you know, that you know, that you know? All is well. Yes, all is well. I feel that one in my soul, yeah. What else? The opposite of every great truth is another great truth. Yes, we're going to be talking about paradoxes in October, so stay tuned. We'll have a lot of conversations on that topic. Online, y'all feel free to answer as well. We can put your answers up on the screen. What is a truth that you know, that you know, that you know?
What goes up must come down. Unless you're out of space.
If on this planet, what goes up must come down. Yes. Yeah. He said he learned that one the hard way. Yes. God is. God is. Anything else? What's your powerful truth? What do you know that you know that you know? There is one life. Only one life. Anyone online? All right. Yes. I'm going to say yes to all of those and so many more. I would say when I was thinking about this, at first, the direction I was going to go was talking about the powerful truths that we have here in Science of Mind. I'm not going to do that. So if y'all were hoping for that, sorry. But what I am going to do is talk to you about perspective. So my powerful truth that I was going to start with was the idea of oneness. And I think a lot of you said that in so many different words. God is, there is one life, all is well. The opposite of every truth is another truth. All of those things kind of lends themselves toward this idea of oneness. There is one thing going on. It is infinite, absolute, and eternal. And that means that if it is infinite, absolute, and eternal, there must not be anything else, because then that one thing wouldn't be infinite, absolute, and eternal. There'd be two things, and infinity wouldn't be a thing, right? And then the whole world would implode. At least that's my personal belief. Or actually just wouldn't be here in the first. Anyways, so that is my powerful truth. But then I went a whole different direction in my mind. I started thinking about, I have been in New Thought teachings for half my life, for my entire adult life, and which is now also half my life. So for half my life, I have been studying this idea of oneness. And I have to tell you something. The oneness that I believed in at 18 years old is very different from the oneness that I believe in at 37 years old. And so even though that is a powerful truth that I have been holding for 19 years now, the way that I understand that truth is different. So for that powerful truth that you have, do you understand it differently now than when you first start holding it? Is your idea of God a little bit different than maybe it used to be? Or, you know, maybe now it used to be everything that goes up must come down, and now that is still true, and you know that there are places that is not true. So maybe at one time you thought it was true everywhere, and now you're like, well, if I were to go out in space and throw something, there is no up for down to happen, that kind of thing, right? So has your truths, whatever they are, have they shifted? Has your understanding of them shifted just a little bit at all? I see, yes, absolutely, yes, some nods, some blank stares. Cool, we're going somewhere. Awesome, awesome. So that's what I want to talk about today is perspective. And I want to do that via the earth. So if you go out to the flattest place that you can think of, like, I know there are probably flatter places, but the salt flats in Utah. And so the first time I went to the salt flats was when my partner at the time and I were driving cross country for the third time, moving back and forth from North Carolina to California. And she woke me up. I was asleep because that's what you do on a 40+ hour road trip is you sleep, right? And she was driving and she woke me up and she's like, I don't know where we are. I don't know what this thing is, but oh my God, it's so cool, right? And and it was, and I looked out and it was just white. And at the time that we went, it was December. It was bitterly cold, and there was about this much water over the salt, and yet it was still as flat as the eye could see for as far as the eye could see. And I sure enough did take my shoes off and get in that freezing cold water and stomp around on that salt because I had never seen anything like that. And yet in that place, if I only had ever seen that place or any place from the ground, I would assume that the earth is flat, right? Like just from our everyday perspective, the earth is flat. And yet we know that that's not true. So how do we know that that's not true? Because for a very long time, people believed that the earth was flat and that the sun rotated around the earth or that it rotated around the North Pole or all kinds of different things. But there was this idea, this understanding that the earth was flat. And then all of a sudden, really smart folks, I didn't dive down this rabbit hole, so I'm not going to tell you who or when or where, but really smart folks said, hey, the earth isn't flat, it's round. So from here on the earth, those of us who have not left it and gone into space, and if you have, please come tell me about it because that sounds really cool. But for those of us who haven't left the earth, if you had no pictures to look at, how would you know that the earth is round? You can see a ship just fall off the back of the horizon. That's correct. Yes. And we know that ships continue. People can sail off and eventually they'll make it back around again. Exactly. There's also, I don't know about y'all, but when I was a kid, we used to go to the museum as school trips, right? And we went and saw the Foucault pendulums, and they look like this. Does anybody recognize this picture? It's a giant pendulum, and you can see that ball at the bottom is connected to a string that goes up about 4 stories. It has to go up a minimum of 52 feet for it to work, but they can go higher. And it was created by the French physicist Jean Foucault, and he demonstrated in 1851 the rotation of the Earth using that pendulum. And so when you go to the museums that have one, that particular one was the one in Houston, which I'm pretty sure is the first one I ever went to, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And all my friends moved on to dinosaurs, and I was still standing there watching that thing go back and forth. And if you watch for long enough, it slowly knocks over these pins, these little pins that are in the ground. And it's the coolest thing. And it looks like it's going to hit it, and then it doesn't. And it looks like it's going to hit it, and then it doesn't. And then everybody else gets bored, but I just keep watching. And it looks like it's going to hit it, and then it doesn't, right? That pendulum shows the rotation of the Earth because, and I didn't realize this until last night, the pendulum that looks like it's moving to us is sitting still. And we are rotating around it. How cool is that? That's how we know that the Earth is a globe. Now, another way that we know that the Earth is round is by the Coriolis effect. Anybody know what that is? You know what it is. Anybody know what it is by the name? Oh, yes, thank you, Terry. Thank you. She said the toilet bowl effect. Now, here's what's really interesting about that, because that's exactly what I said. I said, oh, yeah, because the water goes, clockwise on the southern hemisphere and counterclockwise on the northern hemisphere. It's a lie. They said, no, it has nothing to do with that. It's all about the way the toilet is built. It's not actually true. That's not the Coriolis effect. I was devastated. But yes, essentially. So the Coriolis effect is the way that hurricanes move, how they know how to rotate around the Earth. The other places we can see it are the bands of the wind patterns on Jupiter. We know it by the way the wind flows over the planets. We can see it on a small scale on a merry-go-round. If the merry-go-round is spinning and you roll a ball to a friend, it looks like the ball is standing still. But really, it's moving. It's just the merry-go-round is moving differently to it. And what is so interesting is that it is not true that the water flowing down a drain or the toilet is a point of the Coriolis effect. Now, here's what is extra interesting about that, is that's the first thing that I thought of. And I said, well, I can still use it. Nobody knows that that's not true. They just discovered that that's not a real thing. So I could totally still use that. And then I was like, no, but it's not true. I shouldn't use that. And then I had a thought, because we have these ideas that cause our perspective, that we think are proving our perspective. We think they are proving our powerful truths. And they look like they are, but then we learn that they aren't. And what becomes really, really hard is to let go of those ideas that no longer serve that higher truth. We have to let go of those ideas so that the next experience, the next perspective of that higher truth has not changed. The powerful truth hasn't changed, but our understanding of it has evolved. So we have to be willing to let go of the things that we have thought made the thing true, so that the highest expression of that truth can come through. Does that make sense? So, very, very, very cool stuff. So, all of these things. So they figured out that the Earth was a sphere long before they left it, right? Long before airplanes. Was it Galileo? Somebody here is smart enough to know when that happened. I don't know. It was long before airplanes, long before spaceships, right? And so then, now, how do we know that the Earth is a sphere? Yes, all of these cool science projects and things like that, but how do we know? Yeah. Images from outer space. Right. People have left the planet. We have sent up satellites. We've sent up telescopes, we've sent up humans, we've sent up animals, and they take pictures, and then they show those pictures to us, and they go, look, it's a globe. And we go, oh, we knew it because of the toilet bowl thing, right? And so that's how we know. And yet, I think about it, because if you fly in an airplane, most of us have flown in an airplane. Not many of us have been on a space shuttle, but most of us have been on an airplane. You can almost see the curve of the Earth. Almost, right? You can tell there's more there than what your senses can quite perceive. And yet you still have to go out, you have to make your perspective even bigger, and it's not until you're orbiting the planet in outer space that you go, oh, I see. And even then, like the ISS, the International Space Station, they can't see the whole planet at once. They're still too close to it. They really have to go like to the moon or further. And what's really cool is that the first photograph of the Earth from the moon was on December in December of 1968, and it was called Earthrise, and it was by William Anders. And I have that picture. Y'all recognize that picture, right? It's been everywhere for 60 years now. This picture is credited with inspiring the environmental movement. This picture inspired the very first Earth Day, which was held in April of 1970. Because all of the sudden, not only can we tell that the Earth is a sphere, but we can see how small we are. We can see how small we are. And Neil Armstrong, who was on Apollo 11 and of course was on the moon, he said, "It suddenly struck me that the tiny pea, pretty and blue, was the Earth. I put up my thumb and shut one eye, and my thumb blotted out the planet Earth. I didn't feel like a giant. I felt very, very small. I felt very, very small." And so there is a term for this. It is called the overview effect. The overview effect. And that is a cognitive shift that happens when we have an experience of our perspective just being blown out of the water. And the number one place that this happens is for astronauts who go to space for the first time. And so many astronauts are quoted about how their entire life perspective changed in that one instant. The first time they looked out the window and they saw the Earth from beyond it, their entire perspective about life and humanity and people changed. And it never went back. That, to me, is a powerful truth. And it doesn't mean that their life perspective before was wrong or that they weren't doing good things or any of that. But all of a sudden, in that moment, they had an overview effect happen, and all of a sudden, they were never the same again. And so what I wonder is how often are we allowing these powerful truths that we believe in our spiritual practices, in science of mind, in new thought, and all of these things, how often are we going so deep into them that it causes an overview effect, and all of a sudden our understanding of what it means, these words and terms and phrases that we just spout off, how often do we allow those things to get so deep into our bones that it shifts the very essence of who we are? And I think that that is what is meant by powerful truths, that we are in a teaching, we have a belief system that allows for that. Oneness. However you stated it, whether you state it as mystery or you state it as all is well or you state it as paradox or whatever it is, that idea is mind-blowing. And it's so interesting to me that we can just talk about it like it's just, just oneness. We're just all connected. There's just no separation. Oh, yeah, they did that one experiment where they realized that like particles that are, trillions of miles away from other particles, they simultaneously communicate. We don't really know how, but, no separation. We can just talk about these things that if we allowed them to get down into our essence would change who we are in an instant. That is a powerful truth. And so a lot of astronauts, I didn't get the exact numbers, but a lot of astronauts, when they come back to Earth, they become artists or humanitarians. A lot of them, like a majority, become artists or humanitarians because all of the sudden, their entire worldview shifted in an instant. And they allowed it to happen. They were open to that experience. And I think that that is why we are in spirituality. That's why we're here, is to allow ourselves to have those moments that are so awe-inspiring that we can never go back to who we were before. So researchers have recognized that awe-based experiences that cause this overview shift, this overview effect, such as interaction with nature, religious or spiritual mystical experiences, meditation, peak and flow experiences, flow like high task performances. If you watched Soul with us last year, we talked about that zone of genius, that it can change a person and promote the feeling of unity or interconnectedness. And yet we come here every week and then we leave and we allow ourselves to just keep doing the same old things that we do. And there's nothing wrong with doing the same old things that we do. And yet, how often are we allowing ourselves to let those truths that we have believed, whether we've believed them for a day, a minute, half our lives, our whole lives, how often do we allow those truths to get so down deep into our soul, into our bones, that it changes the way that we approach the world? How often do we allow that? There's this phrase, if you believe in enlightenment, and I'm not here to argue whether enlightenment is a thing or possible or not, but it says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And yet, I would imagine that before or after the Enlightenment, the chopping wood and carrying water is a very different experience. It might look the same from the outside looking in, but from the inside, it feels really different. And I'm sure that we've all had that experience to some effect. Have you ever been so in love that all of a sudden you didn't care that you were washing a sink full of dishes? You just don't even care. It's the best thing ever. The soapy water reminds you of the caress of your lover's hand on your cheek, right? Or, you turn on the music and you're dancing around and you're mopping the floor and you're using the mop as a microphone, and all of a sudden you don't care. You're still mopping, you're still doing the dishes, but all of a sudden something has shifted inside of you. And I think that what happens for most of us is then we shift back, and the next time we do the dishes, we go, oh, I can't believe I have to do the stupid dishes again, right? And so the goal is to allow ourselves to be changed and affected by our powerful truths as much as possible. And then to not beat ourselves up when we just do the dishes and we can't stand it, right? To allow ourselves to be gentle with ourselves and allow those truths to change who we are as often as possible. And so I want to end today with another astronaut's perspective. And he wrote it. There's tons of books on this, y'all. If I could have read all of these books last night, I would have, because it was so fascinating. And this is NASA astronaut Ron Garan, and he wrote The Orbital Perspective. And so I invite you to just take a deep breath and close your eyes And think about your truth and let it really settle into your bones. What is your truth? Maybe your truth is just simply, I am worthy, or all is well, or there's only one thing going on. God is, I am that I am. Allow it to sink down into your bones and change you from a cellular level. And what NASA astronaut Ron says is, as I approached the top of this arc, it was as if time stood still, and I was flooded with both emotion and awareness. As I looked down at the earth, this stunning, fragile oasis, this island that has been given to us and that has protected all life from the harshness of space, a sadness came over me, and I was hit in the gut with an undeniable, sobering contradiction. In spite of the overwhelming beauty of this scene, serious inequity exists on the apparent paradise we have been given. I couldn't help thinking of the nearly 1 billion people who don't have clean water to drink, the countless number who go to bed hungry every night, the social injustice, conflicts, and poverty that remain pervasive across the planet. Seeing Earth from this vantage point gave me a unique perspective, something I've come to call the orbital perspective. Part of this is the realization that we are all traveling together on the planet, and that if we all looked at the world from that perspective, we would see that nothing is impossible. And we don't have to go to space to know that. These truths, these powerful truths that are in the very center of our soul, tell us that. They remind us of that. They whisper that to us. And just as Ram Dass said and Lynn sang about just a moment ago, we are all walking one another home. And we get to allow these powerful truths to change us at a cellular level so that we can show up for and to and as one another. And so it is.
Okay, so thank you, Reverend Kris. Yeah, so this concert today is actually not too far from here. It's in Fairfax, and it's located at 3950 University Drive, and it's called Mackenzie's, and Earps Ordinary is presenting this show, and it's from 4 to 6. So if you'd love to see you there, it's going to be great. So following Reverend Kris's talk, Mary Gaucher really writes very healing songs. And so I'm going to share this one called Worthy.
It took a mighty blow crack me to the core, to finally come to know I could ask for more. I wondered all my life why I felt so alone, trying to survive. How could I have known worthy, worthy? What a thing to claim, worthy, worthy. Ashes into flame, worthy. Left stumbling in the dark, to go within. So I trace my scars back to where I'd been, a diamond in the dirt, perfectly concealed, down beneath the hurt. It's been so hard to feel worthy, worthy. What a thing to claim. Worthy, worthy. Ashes into flames. Worthy. I walk through a wall of fire, left the only life I ever knew. No way back, no place to hide. Then a voice came through. Worthy, worthy. What a thing to claim. Worthy, worthy. Ashes into flame. Worthy.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. So this is the time in our service for our gifts and our offerings, knowing that your mere presence here in our community this morning, whether you are watching online, joining us in person, or watching us even a decade from now, that simply by being here, your presence is giving love to this community. And we are a community that runs on time, talent, and treasures. And so if you have an offering for us today, a tithe, a love offering, a donation, whatever it may be, we would love for you to share that with us. We have multiple different ways you can do that. If you are here in the room, we have our table over on your left with the baskets. If you are online or tech savvy and in the room, you can scan this QR code that's right here next to me. You can also go to celebrationcenter.org and click on the Give button, and all of that takes you to our Secure Breeze website where you can donate. You can also find our physical address on our website where you can send your donations as well. And now I would like to invite Judy up for an affirmation and a prayer.
So please join me in saying our offertory affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. So let's give thanks for the abundance in our lives that flows through us. Let's give thanks for the abundance that flows through this center. For we are open to receive the gifts of Spirit, and everything that is needed is provided for, because we just simply stand in that beautiful wave of God's love and abundance. So in love and gratitude, I just allow this to be, knowing we are all blessed. As we give, we receive. And so it is.
We're going to do our closing song right now called Put a Little Love in Your Heart. And if you feel like standing, I hope you'll sing along with us.
Think of the humankind and keep an open mind. Now put a little love in your heart. You think it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate. Now put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Let's wait,
Just wait
and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Now put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know, we won't let hatred grow. Now put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. And just wait and see. Wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, now put a little love in your heart. I hope that you decide kindness will be your guide. Now put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place. And the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Yes, now put a little love in your heart. Oh yeah, put a little love in your heart. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
So as a reminder, we have our town hall meeting in 33 minutes. And in the meantime, everyone here in the room, please join us. We also have donuts. We have donuts, ice cream, and sandwiches. There's something for everyone if you like carbs. And sugar, yeah. But please do join us at 12:30 for our town hall meeting. It is going to be hybrid, so if you're in the room, hang out with us, grab a sandwich, grab a donut. If you're online, go grab yourself some food as well, and then go to celebrationcenter.org and click on Enter Zoom Events. That will take you right into the Zoom room where you can join us. And now I invite y'all to repeat after me. Something wonderful is being revealed to me today. I stand in my truth. I face my fears. I allow life to unfold as me. I am powerful, and so it is.